What's going on, y'all? Your boy Darius here back again for the video, and this time we're here to discuss the first episode of HBO's The Penguin. Of course, it is the spinoff from the Batman. It's the first TV show set in the Batman universe, man. It's, of course, about Oswald, not Cobblepot, no, Oswald Cobb. They say that, they make it clear in this episode. His name is Oswald Cobb, not Cobblepot. Apparently some people, some people who take this stuff way too seriously, on the internet got upset about that. It's like, oh, it's freaking, he's supposed to be Cobblepot. Cobblepot is a very much English sounding name. Okay, we know from the Batman, this version of Penguin is not like the comics, not the traditional version of Penguin where he's this British dude, this English dude. He's some New Yorker Italian from, like, come on now, he's not gonna have the last name Cobblepot. It just doesn't make sense. But this is the first episode of the Penguin series, and there's gonna be some spoilers in here. Okay, so if you haven't seen it, right? If you haven't seen it for whatever reason, number one, go see it, because this first episode was amazing. So go see it, and then come back here to finish watching my review of the Penguin. This was probably my second most anticipated project in general, across film or TV, left on the release schedule, right after Sonic the Hedgehog 3, because I'm just a big Sonic mark, right? But it was like Sonic, and it was the Penguin, and I gotta say, this first episode lived up to exactly why I was hyped for this show, because it is right away when it first starts off. It takes place a week after the events of the Batman release. It kind of starts off really like the next day, or like that same day. It starts off where, like, after Batman helps people up to the top of what they call Gotham Square Garden. It's supposed to be Madison Square Garden. At the end of the Batman, where he's on top of the roof and he's doing his whole monologue about justice having to be like a symbol for Gotham. It starts off there, showing Penguin. I think he was in the Iceberg Lounge. But then it skips ahead to the next week after the Riddler craziness. Falcone's dead. Speaking of which, Falcone got recast. We saw like a picture of him in this episode. It's not John Turturro. It's Mark Strong. Apparently, John Turturro, it was scheduling conflicts. He wasn't available, so they just got Mark Strong to play him. And I guess we might see flashbacks of him, and he'll be played by Mark Strong this time around. But yeah, it's a week after the ending of the Batman. And this first episode basically is about everyone trying to regroup. Penguin's trying to regroup. Oz is trying to regroup. The new Kingpin, the one who's taken Falcone's place, Carmine's place, is his son, Alberto Falcone. He's the new Kingpin of this, of the Falcone crime family. And we get to meet him for all of, like, I don't know, like 5 minutes maybe, because this show lets you know real quick the tone of it, the rating of it. By the way, this is like a, I guess it would be considered a TVMA show, because they drop a lot of F-bombs. There's some blood. This is a very violent show. Penguin shoots Berto. He shoots Falcone's son. He kills him right there. He started making fun of him and laughing at Oz, and bang bang bang. Real quick, and the way that movies and TV shows are, I was waiting for like the moment where it, cut to not happening. All right, I was waiting for it to cut to be like, that's what he wanted to happen, because so many times we've seen it happen. Like, take The Boys for example. They've done it a few different times, but most notably, I think it was season 3. Was it season 3 or season 2? I think it was season 2, when like Homelander is giving a speech in front of a crowd, and then they start revolting, and then he lasers everyone. Like, it's like a famous, you can go online, search that up, that freaking GIF of Homelander, lasering an entire crowd, and then it snaps back to him. That's what he wanted to do. That's what he thought about doing. I thought that was going to happen, but it didn't happen there. No. He just shot Alberto. Alberto's dead, and like this is a great moment. Colin Farrell, by the way, just as great, even better than he was in the Batman, and he just completely loses himself in the role. Like when when it first started, it wasn't until like a couple minutes in after it started, I was just like, oh yeah, that's Colin Farrell. It's just like I was just thinking, oh, that's just this dude that like that dude just exists in reality when he doesn't. That's Colin Farrell in makeup and a fat suit. It's crazy. But when he shoots Alberto, I was expecting that cut, and it didn't happen. There's this great moment where he laughs. He's just like, hey, you fucking laugh at me, and then he's just like, oh fuck, like the realization of what he did hit him, and the entirety of this episode is about that. It's about him. It's about the ramifications of what he did. It's him hiding the body, getting this dude, this like young like teen, who was with his friends trying to boost his car. He gets him to come along with him and help him dispose of Falcone's body, and he becomes sort of his like little running mate throughout this episode. And I can see that's going to be his role throughout the series. Speaking of Penguin's car, it hit me like midway through because he has this purple car, or as he says, it's more of a plum color. He has this purple and like gold car, like it's got like gold accents on it. It hit me like halfway through. I was just like, this is a Saints Row car. This is one of the cars you get in Saints Row. Like specifically, I think of Saints Row 3. Because I think that's the game where you have like the gold accents, or you may have it in the other ones. But like, I'm looking at the thing, I'm like, this is a Saints Row. This is 3rd Street Saints car that you would drive. It's just funny. I wonder if Matt Reeves was a Saints Row fan. That's what he thought of that. But yeah, he's trying to dispose of the body and just trying to move on. He at first he just wants to get the hell out because we get to meet Sophia Falcone, right? Carmine's daughter, one of his daughters, as we know, played by I had the name of the actress. I think Kristen Milioti, who did a fantastic job playing her because like her character was locked up in Arkham. Apparently, she was this crazy killer, got locked up in Arkham, and is out now, and she does a phenomenal job acting like she's like there's something wrong with her. Like it in her eyes, like her eyes and her smile is just unnerving. It's unsettling. And I forgot what exactly happens. I think Oz, like he says something that tips her off that he might have done something to her brother, and it spooks him, and he tries to go to his mom's house and like pack up. We gotta get the hell out of here, until she tells him nah. I think he tells her what he did, and she's just like, you would think a mother would be like, that's awful, what have you done? But his mom is just like, good, all right, this is your moment to take over. I'm just like, oh, I see why you ended up on the path you are, Oz. So as they set the stage there, it's going to be a war between Penguin and the Falcone family, him trying to rise up and take over. He gets the Maronis involved in this by going to see Sal Maroni, played by Clancy Brown. Love Clancy Brown. And he basically instigates a thing there to where now there's going to be some type of gang war because he gets his little buddy, his little partner in crime to stage it so that it looks like the Maroni family killed Alberto. So that's going to be a thing. And that scene, by the way, is a scene where like he starts getting tortured because Sophia figures it out, or appears to figure it out. Very unique torture scene, and like this like wire thing. Like you've probably seen movies where like dudes get choked out with like the wires. It's like the Hitman. But by the way, I'm stuttering. The guy, his little running buddy, stutters, and it's probably the most realistic depiction of stuttering I've ever seen. As someone who stutters, spot on. But so it's like they start torturing Oz, like Penguin, right? It's just like got these like Hitman wires, but like you would think they'd put around his throat or something. Nah, this goes under his arm and his armpit and starts just like cutting and pulling back. I'm just like, it's so painful. Again, the show did not hold back on the violence, on how mature it is, and I just have to say, all in all, fantastic music, fantastic atmosphere. We get to see Gotham during the day, which we didn't get much of in the Batman, or really ever in Batman media, aside from like, I guess the Dark Knight trilogy. We see it pretty much, we say it a lot of times during the day, especially in Dark Knight Rises. But yeah, everything, man, set dressings, acting, music, everything's just chef's kiss, man. I'll tell you, over time, the Batman has come to sit with me as quite possibly a top 3 comic book movie for me personally. And this show already, just first episode, it's just everything I love about the Batman, but even more grounded, crime, drama. I'm in it, man. I'm in it. Honestly, I have like no complaints about this episode. Honestly, like I'm trying to think about like what could I change? Like what was bad? It's a 5 out of 5 episode for me. It's a 5 out of 5 episode for me. I absolutely love this episode. I'm gonna love this series. I can already tell. You can tell like there's such attention to detail. The script is on point. This is definitely one of those. Like, I'm glad they branded it as an HBO show. Like, this is HBO prime time quality show, and I believe starting next week, this is going to be like their Sunday prime time or slot at 9 on Sundays, where like Game of Thrones or House of Dragon to be. This shows the truth. Yeah, loved it, man. Let me know what you guys thought of the Penguin. Right? Let me know what you thought of the Batman. Are you a fan of the Batman? Are you a fan of this little universe Matt Reeves is creating, man? And while you're doing that, make sure you hit the subscribe button, right? Help me out, man. I'm trying to reach 700 subscribers. I'm trying to reach 1,000 by the end, but 700 is the next little goal. So hit that subscribe button. Help me out there. Hit the thumbs up as well. YouTube loves thumbs up. They love you thumbs up. They love comments. All right. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.